Alara Kalama and the Path of Deep Meditation. A high attainment, yet not the end. According to the tradition, after Siddhartha cut his hair and beard, and laid down the last outer signs of royal life, he began to walk more fully on the path of seeking truth. He went on to meet different ascetics and teachers, and among them, he came to Alara Kalama, a well-known master of deep meditation. There, Siddhartha learned a path of profound concentration and inner stillness. And the tradition says that he reached the same high state as his teacher. Yet even in that great quiet, Siddhartha felt that the journey was not complete, and that the deepest answer had not yet been found. Today's story begins after the prince's outer form had already been laid down. When Siddhartha walked forward, not as the royal heir of Kapilavastu, but as a seeker whose heart could no longer turn away from the question of suffering, Channa and Kanthaka had already returned to the palace. The royal things were gone. His carefully kept hair and beard had been cut away. The familiar name of prince was growing faint behind him, and before him there was only the long road of seeking. But leaving the palace did not mean that the answer appeared at once. Departure was only the beginning. Beyond that beginning waited uncertainty, effort, and a path that would have to be tested step by step. Siddhartha already knew that aging, sickness, and death could not be escaped by wealth or love alone. He had seen too much to return to a life of comfortable forgetting. The quiet love of Yasodhara, the small breath of Rahula, and the hopes of his father had not vanished from his heart. If anything, they had made his question deeper. If all beings must suffer, is there truly no way beyond suffering? If there is such a way, where can it be found? It may have been for this reason that Siddhartha began to seek out those who were already walking spiritual paths. To remain alone with his thoughts was not enough. He wished to learn from those who had trained the mind, stilled desire, and gone beyond ordinary worldly life. According to the tradition, one of the first great teachers he met was Alara Kalama. Alara Kalama is remembered as a master of deep meditation. He was known as a teacher of subtle concentration, inward stillness, and refined states of mind. Many followed his instruction, and his path was respected by those who sought freedom from the noise and restlessness of ordinary life. For someone like Siddhartha, whose heart was searching with great sincerity, such a teacher would have seemed worthy of careful listening. So Siddhartha stayed and learned. Though he had once lived as a prince, he was not slow in this new life. He had the rare ability to gather his mind with seriousness and depth. His question was not casual. He was not searching for an interesting teaching, nor for praise, nor for a place to belong. He was searching because life itself had become a question he could no longer ignore. Perhaps that sincerity gave force to his practice. The tradition says that Siddhartha learned Alara Kalama's teaching very quickly. He entered deeply into meditation and came to know the stillness that his teacher taught. To people standing outside, such practice may look like simple silence. A person sits quietly, words become few, the body hardly moves, but within that silence, the mind is being led into subtler and subtler quiet. Thoughts begin to settle, the noise of desire begins to soften, the scattered movements of the mind begin to gather. The heart enters a calm more spacious than ordinary rest. For Siddhartha, this must have been a powerful experience. The world that had once pressed upon him with grief and questions could, for a time, become very still. The mind could enter a depth where ordinary disturbance no longer ruled. One can easily understand why such a state would seem close to liberation. To someone burdened by the suffering of the world, deep meditative peace can feel like a doorway to a greater truth. Perhaps Siddhartha wondered whether he had come near the answer he sought. When the mind grows quiet and wide, it can feel as if one has come to the edge of freedom. The suffering that once seemed loud may appear far away. The heart tastes a peace that worldly pleasures cannot give. Such peace is not small, and the tradition does not treat it lightly. Alara Kalama also saw Siddhartha's depth. The tradition says that he recognized how quickly Siddhartha had understood the teaching, and how fully he had entered the high meditative state that the teacher himself had reached. In some tellings, Alara Kalama even invited Siddhartha to remain with him as an equal, to share in guiding the community and teaching the path together. This was no small thing. To be recognized by one's teacher is meaningful. To be told that one has reached a high attainment is no ordinary praise. Many would have remained there. Many would have thought, I have found the answer. Many would have accepted the honor and stayed. But Siddhartha's heart did not stop there. Why not? Because even in that deep peace, he saw something carefully and honestly. The state was lofty, but it did not seem to be the final end of suffering. In meditation, restlessness could become quiet. The burdens of ordinary life could fade far away. The mind could enter a profound stillness. But when that meditative state passed, the world still remained what it was. Aging had not ended, sickness had not ended, death had not ended, and the roots of suffering had not yet been fully understood or uprooted. This insight is important. Siddhartha did not reject the teaching because it was false or worthless. He did not look down on his teacher. He did not treat the attainment lightly. On the contrary, he learned it fully enough to see both its greatness and its limit. He knew that deep meditation was precious. He knew that inner stillness was real. But he also knew that a precious thing is not always the final thing. There is a difference between a great peace and complete liberation. There is a difference between a high state and the full ending of suffering. There is a difference between touching stillness and discovering a path that can free all beings. Siddhartha could not ignore that difference. So once again, he chose honesty over comfort. Even spiritual success can become a place of rest, and even a beautiful attainment can become something one is tempted to hold on to. But Siddhartha did not want only a refined experience for himself. He was seeking a truth deep enough to answer the suffering of life itself. Because of that, he could not remain in a place that felt noble but incomplete. And so, in time, he moved on. The learning he received from Alara Kalama was not wasted. It became part of his path. He learned how powerful concentration could be. He learned the depth of inner stillness. He learned by direct experience that the mind could be trained far beyond ordinary distraction. This was not a failed chapter. It was a necessary one. But it was not the end. Sometimes a person receives a true and beautiful teaching, and still must continue on. That does not mean the teaching was empty. It means the heart has seen that there is still farther to go. This kind of honesty is not rebellion. It is devotion to truth. This is how the story of Siddhartha's learning with Alara Kalama quietly comes to a close. It reminds us that reaching a high place does not always mean the journey is finished. Sometimes, even after entering a deep peace, the heart still asks, is this the end, or is there a deeper truth still waiting? There are moments in our own lives when we may achieve something meaningful, something beautiful, something that truly helps us. Yet even then, a quiet question may remain. We do not need to fear that question. We do not need to silence it too quickly. Sometimes, it is the gentle voice that leads us toward the next step of the path. May we also learn to honor what is good, without pretending it is complete when our heart still knows there is farther to go. And may the quiet questions within us become honest guides toward wisdom, compassion, and peace.